Okay, so now that we got to
Okay,
see
so
all
now
of
that we
these,
got to see
well, not
all
all
of
of them,
these
but we got to see
modeling
some of these
tools, we got to see
modeling
some of these
tools and different
basics
things
about
like that,
modeling and XSI,
and got to see what
basically
makes up
what
a
makes up a
polygon and stuff.
polygon, what the
Just want to show
components
you,
of polygon are,
this real
vertices and
quick.
edges and
This is
faces and
what
things
we're
like
going to
that.
end up modeling by
I
the
just
end
want to
of
show
this
you really
tutorial.
quick that this
Or
is what
I should
we're
say
going to
this
end
is
up
what you're gonna
modeling
end up
by the end
modeling,
of this tutorial.
if you
Actually, I
follow
should
this
say you're going to
tutorial.
end up modeling this by the end of the tutorial.
So the
if you
idea of
follow
the
it through.
tutorial is to build
So the idea of the
several
tutorial
real
is to
world,
build
real life
many
objects using all
real world
kinds of different
objects
techniques.
in
All
3D
of these
using
objects were
XSI.
modeled using different
Now,
techniques.
all of these objects are used,
It's stuff that you
created
can't find in
using
help files.
different
It's
types
stuff
of
that you pick
techniques
up
for
and learn
modeling.
after
And these
doing
are
this for
things that you
years.
can't pick up from the
So
help
I'm going to
files. You
share
have to
these
learn this
techniques
over
with
years
you,
of experience.
and by the end of this tutorial,
modeling,
you should have
thousands
the
of
skills
objects.
and the
So
ability.
by the end of this tutorial,
and very
you
basic
should have the
knowledge to at
skills
least
and the ability
go ahead and
to
start
go ahead and
creating
start creating your
objects like
own
this,
real-world objects
that
whenever you
mimic
need to for
real
your
life
projects.
objects like
So things like
keyboards
keyboards and
desks,
detailed desks
speakers,
and speakers
and
over here. We got a
monitors,
monitor, and we've got all
CD
kinds of
jewel
objects here
cases and,
on this desk and in
computers
this
and
scene.
things like that.
So you should be able to go ahead and
before you
start
get
modeling
started
your
on
own
modeling
objects
something
when
like
you're done
this,
with this tutorial.
It doesn't matter if
But
you
before
have
you start
20 years
creating anything, it
experience
really makes no
or
difference if
20
you have
minutes
20 years of experience or 20
Everyone
minutes
who
of
works in
experience.
3D
Everyone who works in
has
3D
to use reference.
has to use
I
reference.
mean, that's just the standard.
Some kind
thing.
of reference
A good
has to be
3D
used to
artist
create anything
is a
in
good
3D, whether it's
researcher
this computer
and a
scene,
good
whether it's a
collector
monster, a
of,
character for a
reference
game.
for whatever
It
it is
doesn't
he wants
matter.
to model.
You need reference.
Now, reference comes basically
reference
in two
comes
forms.
basically in two forms.
Real life reference.
You have real
and
life
imaginary
reference, and then you
imaginary
have
reference
imaginary
is
reference.
paintings,
Imaginary
2D
reference is
concept
things
art,
like paintings,
sketches and drawings,
2D concept arts,
schematics,
sketches,
things like that,
schematics, blueprints,
real life,
things like
real
that.
life.
Now, real life reference is a
comes
little bit
from
different. That comes from
real
real
things
objects,
that you can hold
things
in
that
your
you're
hand that you
holding in
look
your
at
hand
while
and
you're
you look at
modeling.
while you model, or
Real
pictures,
reference
photographs
also
of real
comes from
objects as well.
photographs and images.
So
For
you can
example,
use
you could take
photographs
a
and
picture of a
images
building
that you
and then
take of
model
a
it in
building or an
3D,
object, and then you
or
can use
things
those
like that.
images to
So
model that
those are
specific
the two
object
different
or
forms of
building or whatever it
reference
is
that,
in
exist.
3D. So those are two different types
For
of
this
reference that exist that you
tutorial,
can use
I
to model
myself
things.
used
For this
both
tutorial,
different kinds of reference.
I use both different kinds
I've
of
been doing it for
references.
years, and I
I've
still do it
used,
to this day. Is
reference
Google.
images in terms
Google
of
is your
pictures,
best friend.
and I use one also in schematics to go ahead and
Inside of
model
XSI,
something
we
like a
have
keyboard.
something called a net view.
So,
if you hit
in XSI,
5,
we have something called the net
Alt5
view.
on the
If you
keyboard,
hit
sorry,
Alt and 5
and
on the
5
keyboard, you're
you'll
going to open
up this
something called the net view.
And what this essentially
this
is,
net
it's a
view
built-in
window
web browser
is a
for
built-in
XSI.
web browser for XSI.
And this is the default homepage. It
This
takes
is the
you
default
to the
homepage, the
Softimage
Softimage Net View
and up here
homepage.
in the address bar,
And when you go up here to the address bar, you can use this just like any other web browser. So we can type in Google.com, for example, and that's just a
and we
hot
can
tip
end
for
up
you.
at
Google is
Google
one of the
search.
best
So let's
reference
switch over to images,
image reference sources
computer
in the world, basically, in my
monitors.
opinion at least.
And
so we can go to
get
Google
tons and
Images,
tons
and
of
you can
images.
type in
You get
something
all
like
these pages of
computer
images of
monitors,
different monitors,
and you get all of these images
you
that
can
pop
look
up.
for,
So let's
say,
look for
I don't know, computer
desks.
desks. So you can see some.
And now we can
cool
see all
computer
these
desks and
images of
things.
different computer desks
So there's a
and
lot
things
of
that you can
different,
use to go ahead and model and
materials
create
out there for you
these
to
different
research
scenes and these different
reference images
objects.
for you to get and collect. And
So if you
use
do your
to
research, you
aid
can find
in
plenty of
modeling,
reference
because
images out
reference
there,
is
and I strongly
extremely
recommend using
important.
Google
And
simply
if you don't
because
use
it's such a great
reference,
source of
you're
reference
going to have
images
a
out
very
there.
hard time modeling.
So you should take
It's gonna
advantage
slow
of
you
it. Go
down,
online
and you're
and
not
take a
gonna be as
moment to
productive as
go
you
ahead
should be.
and collect
So,
all that image,
with that said,
all that reference
take some time to
images that
collect
you
some
need.
reference. Like I
So
said,
it's a
these
lot
are the
worth
different
it
objects we're going to be
to go
modeling.
in there
So we're going to
and
be
collect
modeling speakers,
all that reference that
computer
you're going to need to create
monitor,
all these things.
keyboard, a mouse, a computer
So you
desk.
can see we have a lot of
full
objects
details and
to
everything,
go
so
ahead
it's
and
got a
model,
fully
and
working
they are
railing
fully
system
detailed.
over here.
There's a
You
lot
can
of
see
detail in this, so there's a
that
lot
hooks
of
up
work
over
to be
here
done.
the keyboard tray.
But it's a lot of
We
fun,
have a computer
and it's very
CPU
interesting to go in here and
that's,
model all these
fairly
real-world things.
detailed.
So we can
All
see
the
we're going to
little
create
buttons
this
and things
CPU
here.
over here. We're going to create buttons for
We
it.
got air vents.
We're going to create
We
the
got
air
all the
vents. We're
details
going to
back
create
here.
the input and output connectors in the
place
back
for power plug to
for
go
the
into,
power
air vents
plug.
and
We've got
power
power
supplies,
switches.
things like
We
that.
have all the
And we
details
got
you would
pens,
expect
USB
in real
drive,
life.
little
See, we got a
USB thumb
detailed
drive right here
USB
that's
thumb drive
modeled,
over
some pretty
here.
good detail.
So we're going to
So
be
I'm gonna be
modeling
showing
a
you how
lot
to
of
do
things.
all
By
this
the
kind
end
of
of this
stuff in this
tutorial, you're going to
tutorial.
have a
It's gonna be
lot
a
of
lot of fun.
experience in 3D. I mean, months and months of
Really interested in being a
experience.
polygon modeler,
It's just going to be at your
this tutorial is
fingertips
going to make you
in just
go
a few
from
hours.
nothing to
So,
something very, very
let's
fast.
get started.
So,